everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm just doing a bunch of videos back to back, so if you guys see me in my weird outfits, I'm sorry. I'm just doing a bunch of back to back videos. Mr. Benjamin's gonna take his sister. Yeah! My baby sister. So today's video is 10 random things. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I've had stuff written down and I'm like, I don't have enough stuff to tell you. I've been wanting to do this video for actually 2 years and I keep bringing it up, keep bringing it off, whatever. I'm like, well, you know what? We're quarantined, so I'm going to bring you guys 10 random things about me. Right now I have 9 written down, so I have to come up with a 10th thing before I get to that. But let's just say it. Now the first random thing about me, you guys, is I'm the oldest child, the youngest child, and the only child. People are like, how the heck is that possible? Benjamin, don't stand on that. So my dad had 2 kids before he married my mother, so I am the youngest with his kids. My mom had 2 kids after I was born with my stepdad, so I am the oldest with my brothers. My brothers are more my brothers than my other brother and sister. I don't see them as often. I maybe see them every couple years. My brothers I see all the time. But then if you put all 5 of us together, I am technically the middle child, and then I don't have any true brothers and sisters. They're all halves, so it makes me the only child. So I think it's kind of cool. People are like, I guess that's right, you know. So there's a funny fact about me. Yeah, I have 2 older brothers. I have a brother and sister that are about 20 years older than me, and my brothers that with my mom's, one is 7 years younger and the other one's 10 years younger. So kind of interesting about that. Be careful, honey. My second random thing is I used to be punk rock gothic.
Go to shop.com and go to benjamin.com and you see so many videos and so many videos of Charlotte, so many videos of me.
There is no Charlotte or benjamin.com.
No, there's videos.
Okay. So basically, I used to be punk rock gothic, you guys.
Mama.
Thank you. When I was 17 years old, I really got, or 16, I got really into weird things. I had my head shaved. Like, I shaved all the back of my head. I had it spiked. I tried dyeing my hair with Kool-Aid because my mom would not let me really dye my hair. She did let me dye my hair like a red.
You can dye your hair with squeal Kool-Aid, man.
But she let me dye my hair like a natural red, but not any like random colors. I used to wear vinyl and like pleather, which is fake leather. I had dog collars that had spikes all over it. I wore safety pin necklaces. I had tons of like spiked, you know, studded bracelets and everything. I had, you know, vinyl. I wore silver vinyl pants. I wore red vinyl pants, black vinyl pants, and purple vinyl pants. I wore the random shirt. Like, I was just a really weird person. I wore a mini skirt that barely covered my butt with fishnets. And then I had the boots that go up to my knees with that thick of a heel. I still have those shoes. They fit me, but I can't zip them up anymore because my legs are not as thin as what they used to be. But yeah, I used to be a very weird punk rock gothic is what I did. I used to wear black lipstick. Yeah, kind of weird. Kind of weird. If most of you guys do know, I am a huge movie buff. I probably own over 600 to 700 movies. And I watch them on a regular basis. I sometimes watch 1 movie a day. I could watch 4 movies a day. But with kids right now, I watch
boy movies and girl movies.
Okay.
Movies named boys like the Transylvania,
Yeah.
Hotel Transylvania. There's like.
Okay, kid. I'm trying to film. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. But I'm a huge movie buff, and with kids, it's hard to watch the movies that you want. But I have always been a huge movie buff for years, I think. When I first got, I mean, back when there was VHS tapes, I always had tons of VHS tapes. Then I turned them all into DVDs. So Christmas time, I'm always looking for deals on movies because it's like, you know, I just love movies, and I have everything categories. I have it all alphabetized. I know exactly what movie I have to a T. Like, that's how obsessed I am with my movies. Benjamin, my first job, you guys wouldn't believe me, but my first job was I was a librarian. When I was 15 years old, in school, in high school, we had to have 100 hours of community service to graduate. So you had 4 years to do it. So when I was 15 years old, I actually volunteered to be to work at our local library. So what I ended up doing is, you know, I'd put books back, help people out. Well, then when my time was done, I actually, they offered me a job. So I was 16 years old when I started my first job. I was a librarian at the local library. I felt very unappreciated there. Like, I did a lot of stuff, but the lady would never talk to me. It was a small library. Like, when you guys live in a town of 1,000, population of 1,000, it's a tiny little library. But the lady would never say anything to my face. She would always lecture me and like post-it notes. She'd never say, you know, thank you for doing this, thank you for doing that. I got yelled at a lot in post-it notes, so I ended up quitting. And then my second job, I ended up working at a grocery store. I was in the deli department for, was it 3 or 4 years I worked in the deli department, and then I also worked in the meat department, packaging meats up. And then while I was there, I also started working at Walmart, and they ended up, were gonna fire me at the local grocery store. I mean, the grocery store and Walmart were 30 minutes apart. It was some rinky-dink town and then the big town. But they were gonna fire me because I worked at Walmart. Sorry, my kids are making a lot of noise in the back. So I ended up having to quit my deli job because I got paid more at Walmart. So with Walmart, I think I worked there for a year and a half. I worked at one near my hometown, and then when I moved to Madison, I transferred to here. So I worked at Walmart a couple different times. Charlotte, you stop. Yes, and then after Walmart, I started working at Menards. So I worked at Menards for 14.5 years. I was also a merchandiser at the local mall. I did part-time for 3 years. I hated it, you guys. I liked it the first year, and then after a while, I hated it. I ended up saying I quit. I just could not handle it anymore. But those are pretty much the jobs I did. And at Menards, I went to school for interior design. So I actually was a kitchen designer. I was in building materials, selling 2x4s. I was in receiving. I was all over the place. Number 5. I went to modeling school. You guys know if you ever got like 17 magazines or like YM, they always had ads in the very back of the magazines. Well, there was a company called John Casablancas. And basically what you do is you sign up to go to modeling school. So my mom and I spent a whole week one summer. I think it was right before my senior year in high school. We went up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and we stayed at a hotel. And she dropped me off at this school. And I learned how to be a model for a whole day, and it was a week straight. Like, you know how to do the walk, you got to do a photo shoot. It was actually really awesome. And I did learn some stuff. I became friends with those girls, but I didn't make any contact with them. Benjamin, please be quiet. But then, you know, they would offer you modeling gigs, and a lot of them were up in Minneapolis, but you had to like call and see if you could, you know, qualify for it. Well, I never qualified for it because they wanted somebody at a certain type or certain skin color, and it was just too far with me driving 2 hours to go do these modeling gigs. But then I did some local gig in my area where I got to wear weird clothing, so that was kind of fun. But I wanted to do modeling, and I actually had an opportunity to live in Japan. When I was younger, when I was 17 or 18, I was 17. I got an opportunity to live in Japan to be a model there. They wanted very pale people, exactly my size, but they wanted like some really weird photos of me, and I felt very uncomfortable, even though if you want to be a model, you got to take those photos, but I just felt very uncomfortable. So I kind of denied it, but you know, I wonder where I would be if I did pursue it. And Miss Charlotte's got my camera. Number 6, I'm a very sarcastic person. I love to make people laugh. If you guys watch, Benjamin, can you move her? If you guys know, I love to make people laugh. Sometimes when I do comments, like, people can't really truly, here, just give her to me. People can't really see how sarcastic I am. Like, I wish I could comment and you guys could see if I'm sarcastic or not, but you just can't. But I am a very sarcastic person. I just love people. If I could be a comedian, I totally would if I could. If I could pursue it, I would totally do it, but I just don't feel like I'm super funny. But there's that. Number 7. I went to school for interior design. I did mention that. I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I did go to school for interior design, so I learned everything there was to know. I did really good with merchandising. I had a part-time job merchandising. That's why I started working at Menards. Do I regret going to school for interior design? Not really, but you know, back then people took advantage of me and wanted my no opinion, and then when I gave them my opinion, they didn't like it. What's so wrong? What's wrong? So there was that. Like, people just wanted free advice all the time. Number 8. Funny thing is, I've had Netflix longer than I've had my husband, or been with my husband. So I started Netflix, I think of August of 2006 as when I joined. It was very, very vague. You couldn't do very much except just, you know, just rent DVDs. So I started in 2006 of August, and then I met him, I think, shortly after that. And yeah, so I've had my Netflix account longer than I've known my husband. It's kind of sad, but you know, and I still have Netflix, and I still have my husband 14 and a half, or almost 14 years later. So we got that.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. My next random thing about me is I love variety of music. I could go from listening to Baby Shark to hardcore like Slipknot, Korn. Then you go to 80s.
Did you mean this, Baby Shark?
Yeah, and then you go to like 80s, and then you guys could go to Disney music. Like, I'll listen to musicals like crazy. I love Sound of Music. I love all these musicals. And then you go to stuff where you can't even understand what they say. So there's that. And then I have a number 10 random fact about me, and I don't even know what to tell you guys for my random fact.
Nemo and Dory.
That my random fact is I've always wanted to have more kids, but my husband doesn't want any more. It took me 6 months to get pregnant with Benjamin, and it took me 2.5 years to get pregnant with this one. If I could always have a third child, I would, but I don't think that's happening. But I've always wanted more children.
We got this is a Funko.
And it's hard to do videos when your kids are with you all the time. But if you guys enjoyed these 10 random facts, I'll probably do some more random facts for you guys later on.
Mama.
Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all later.
I'm gonna put these
Bye-bye.
on. Mom, I'm putting